Right, people. Hopefully this is recording. Yeah. Right. So I've had a couple of messages today asking about peeler crabs and what I do with them. If I can't use them, obviously once they start popping, they need to go in the freezer. So I've been asked how I personally freeze them. So let me just quickly show you what I mean between ready to go in the freezer and not. So this is a peeler crab, live, obviously, as you can clearly see. For a start, for those who don't know how you tell a peeler crab, easiest way, the back leg, the flat bit, this won't hurt them. You pull off that little bit of leg, and underneath, there's your nice new leg. Right, so that is, we've established now, a peeler crab. But when you give him a gentle squeeze, like that, under here, he's not cracking. So he's not quite ready yet to be used. Although he's a peeler crab, and you would get him from a tackle shop like that, or off of me like that when I'm selling them, which as it is I am. But yeah, he's not quite ready for bait. But another day or so in the fridge, in a cool box or something like that, he'd be absolutely spot on. But here I've got quite a few. I say quite a few. I've got a few that are, as you can see, again they're live, but in about 10 minutes they won't be. So I'll just show you these ones, because these ones are very, very ready to go. Now, again, pull the leg off, and there's a nice new leg underneath, but these ones are cracking around the shells. So you can see that there. You can see there, look, there's the new shell underneath. Now, 99.9% of you guys know how to tell a peeler crab, but as I'm doing it, I might as well go start to finish. So, the way I freeze them, a lot of people say leave them whole, wrap them in cling film or tin foil and chuck them in the freezer. Lads, that works. That really does work. As it is, I've got a couple of these bags in my freezer full from last year, where I was just I had so many crabs, and I wasn't going to sit here and peel them all to perfection just for me to go and smash a load of hounds on the boat with, because the hounds are really not fussy. But if you're a bit more fussy and you'd like to do it properly, then here is the best way. So the legs all come off. Now, when you're pulling off a crab leg, if you give it a little twist at the socket there, you'll leave that bit on there as well. It's just a little bit more meat. It just saves you from losing it all. So all the legs come off, and the claw again. Leave the socket. Sorry. Yeah, I'm filming this in the kitchen. The missus is out, so she doesn't know. Just keep it that way. All the bottom shell comes off. All of the flap, as I call it, all comes off. Crack that off. Crack that off. Don't know why it's not focusing. And there you have it. That crab is peeled. You can pull these little bits off too. Now, a lot of people would say you've got to take the lungs out. Now there's the lungs, dead man's fingers. There is a hard bit in there. See that there? That is like a piece of bone. Come on, phone, focus. Underneath that, and you can just get hold of that and rip it all out. It'll take the lungs out too. But for me, don't bother. The people say they don't freeze and it makes them go rotten. Yeah, if you're leaving them in the freezer for 5 years, then yes. But that will be used in a couple of months for the hounds. 6 months when the cod are in. When the cod are in. But yeah, so that's that. Right, so that is one crab peeled. Let's quickly do this one. Sorry, little dude, but it's your time. I mean, there must be, I must have 300 or 400 around me at the minute. In the fridge, in the freezer, in the garden, in cool boxes. There's a lot of them are going today, actually. A lot of people are having some today. If you're close and you want any, this video will be going up today. So this is today's, what's the day? The 14th of April. If anyone is close to me, obviously I'm in the southeast, get in contact, because I am selling them. So people to put in the freezers. Obviously I know we're not allowed to go fishing yet. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Some people are, some people aren't. Either way, I don't care what you're doing. As long as you're staying safe, then yeah, I've got crab, plenty of them. So that's that. I mean, I've got in this bag, these are the ones that need to go in the freezer today. So I've got these out, and again, like you can see, they're all still quite alive, but they're all cracking underneath the shells. Lovely. Right, so I'm just going to show you these, because otherwise it could drag right on. Now, these ones, like I said, these ones I'm doing properly. This is the way that everybody else says you should do it. Personally, for me, I can't be bothered with all this. Give us a second, let me find a pair of scissors in the drawer. Oh no. There's, oh, these look new. Lovely. Sorry, dear. Now, the ideal tool for now is for you to have a vacuum packer, but let's have it right. How many people have got a vacuum packer sitting indoors? I know obviously a few people will have, but I haven't. That there is a piece of cling film, about the same sort of size as my hand. Crab goes in, fold, 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 and fold. That stops the air getting in, stops the juices getting out. That now would be ready. That's one bait. Let me get a bit more cling film. I'm going to have to buy a new roll of cling film now because I've got crabby hands all over the cling film. Another piece of cling film. Like that. Where you go. Where you go. Where you go. There you have it. There's another one. Now, if you had a vacuum packer machine, you could obviously peel 10 or 20. Enough for a session, I would say. Average is about 15 crabs, I reckon. Depending on how the session goes. But I would always have at least 15 crabs for a session. Then yeah, I'd put 15 crabs in the vacuum pack sealer and do it. I don't know how they work because I don't know how they work, but yeah. Now, for me, this is good enough for how I do it. This is a whole crab. Legs and claws and all. Lay them down like that. Alright, it requires a bit of a bigger piece of cling film. Here is the cling film. Nothing special about it. It's just normal cling film from a shop, but it is a bit bigger because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay him in whole. If you try and fold them legs in, no, fold them in, don't stick them out. What you want him to do is fold his legs in just like that. Try and get it as nice and tight as possible. Now for me, that is absolutely ideal, and that's so much quicker than having to peel it all here. Not only that, it just takes long. Fair enough, obviously we're in lockdown at the minute, guys, so if you was to get hold of a load of fresh peelers, it'd take you a few hours probably. I don't know, if you bought 50 for instance, it'd take you, I don't know, a couple of hours to sit there, peel them all nicely. It gives something to do. But for me, I haven't got time for that, I'm too busy. Just wrap them up like that, and then once I've got probably 20 of them, a sandwich bag just like this, chuck them all in the sandwich bag, individual, and these ones are ideal as well because they're from Co-op. But you can write on them. You can write how many's in there. You can write the date you put them in there, so you can use the ones that you froze first, if that makes sense. So you're not going to the back of the pile first all the time. So that you can keep rotating your crabs like that. But yeah, that's just the way I do it. That is the way I freeze mine. Hopefully that has helped. If you want, while I'm here, also, these legs, look at these legs. Now these legs are absolutely ideal for tipping. If you're fishing in an estuary, fishing on a beach, don't really matter, fishing on a boat. But for me, fishing in an estuary, look, let's do that, let's knock a couple of them up. Now a lot of people don't bother with these. I don't really when I'm fishing for hounds or fishing for bass because they're just too fiddly. There's no real need for them. But 2 or 3 of them on a small hook with, I don't know, a bit of lugworm, a small piece of crab if you're fishing for eels, fishing for flounder, a couple of them just whacked on the bottom of an hook. Literally just one hook, bunched up like that. It does make all the difference, I think, in some cases. And also the claws. There's a lot of meat in the claws. And to be fair, some of these big peelers that are about at the minute, and some really big ones about at the minute, they're obviously the bigger the crab, the bigger the claw. Now, fishing for eels and things down the river, there's one of the claws or 2 of the claws is a bait in itself, so it's well worth them scissors are crap for that. Oh, here we go. Here's one I prepared earlier. A rusty pair of pliers in the kitchen. Yeah, cracking. I don't know why. Oh yeah, look. Here's another pair of scissors. Here's another pair that I prepared earlier. If you get the crab claw, back of the scissors, not like that, back of the scissors, and it just breaks the shell, but it doesn't crush the actual claw. Just a little tip. Peel the bits of shell off. Now, 2 of those with a little bit of very, very thin cotton on a hook is an ideal bait. If you was to put that as it is on a hook, slide it on like a worm, and then tip it with them 3, you can't go wrong. Things like flounders and eels in the estuaries, rivers, and I can't see that being any different anywhere in the country. Obviously, I'm going by the River Medway because that's where I live, but I think that anywhere in the country, that would work. Things like I'm mushrooming off the rocks for wrasse, things like that. I can't see why that wouldn't work. It's ideal, absolutely ideal. Let's just get this other one peeled off, chucked on there. There you go. That there is a bait for a smaller species fish. I'm not going to bother with it all, to be honest, because I've got enough legs and bits and bobs. Like I said, all my crabs I'm going to freeze like this, so all the legs and the claws are going to come with it. If I want to use them on the day, then I can. But yeah, other than that, guys, I don't really know what else to say to you. I would definitely, one more thing, don't chuck these in the freezer loose. I would definitely stick them in something like a sandwich bag, or stack them up like that, and then wrap 15 or 20 of them together with cling film. Because the reason I use cling film is because it stops freezer burn. It stops air getting to the actual bait. And yeah, and that's what helps. If you just chuck them in the freezer, like that, air's going to get to them. They get freezer burn. They won't turn out very nice. But yeah, there's some lovely crab. Right, I'm going to finish up wrapping the rest of these, and yeah, go about enjoying the rest of my day. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys. In a bit.